Last summer, some friends and I went hiking in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. We selected our mountain, we selected our hike, and we started working our way up the trail, which wasn't easy. It had been a little bit rainy the day before, so the rocks were wet, there was some mud. The brush was thick. At some points it wasn't a heavily used trail, so we had to push our way through the brush. And after a couple hours worth of hiking and climbing, we did make it to the top of the mountain. And there we enjoyed some pretty spectacular views. So we took some photos, we ate our lunch together, and then we rested after that long hike up. And it was very clear. I mean, for me, with my friends, the beautiful views, the nice lunch, the rest and everything, it was good to be there. It was something very much that we enjoyed. In our gospel today, we can imagine our Lord and the disciples making their way up a strenuous mountain to get to that mountaintop, and who knows what the conditions were like, but they had their work and they did get to the top, and they also knew it was good to be there. But the goodness about being there in this case, though, didn't have to do with a nice lunch and didn't have to do with beautiful views, but it did have to do very much with the fact that those disciples were blessed to be there with our Lord glorified, and to see our Lord as He will be seen forever by all of us in eternity, glorified, full of love, and that love shining through and touching them deeply. That is the kind of glory, I think, that in some small way each of us can experience in this life in prayer. Now, it's not easy to get to a point where prayer is simple, or even carving out the time for prayer is simple. There's work that's involved. The work of simply sitting down in the chapel, making the time for that, but then also the work of knowing what prayer is about. How do we meditate? How do we contemplate? How do we talk to the Lord from our heart? So the work is there, but nevertheless, it's good to be there in the end. And in particular, it's good to be there with our Lord as He's present so mysteriously in the Eucharist. And so one of the things we can take from this gospel is to say that let's do the work. Let's carve out the time so that we can sit with our Lord in the Eucharist. And maybe we make the resolution for this week to just find 1 hour to go to the church and to sit with our Lord in silence and to be with Him. And we'll find it was worth the effort, and we'll find that indeed it's good to be there. So this week, let's get real and let's be with our Lord in the real presence in the Eucharist at Mass.